registered people. There may be a few stragglers yet to come in, but I'd like to respect all of our time and get the program underway. Can all of you hear me? Shake your head. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. My name is Bob Whipple, and I welcome all of you to this wonderful celebration. I'm also called the Trust Ambassador, and I'm the chair of the board of directors of Elevate Rochester. Since this is our first time doing the ETHIES Celebration virtually, we're pretty darn excited to try our wings in this new environment. I can tell you it's been a challenge setting it up for the first time in this mode. So we'll just see how it goes. I think it's going to go fine. We do have a wonderful celebration planned for this afternoon. I'm so thrilled with the caliber of the 4 companies that we have that have been named as recipients. And also we have 3 students who are receiving scholarships today. So it's going to be a wonderful program. And we'll talk about the fact that there's going to be some trophies delivered. This is what they look like. This is the one for RTS. It has the Elevate Rochester logo and then the colored RTS logo. And in the bottom, you can't really read it in this size, but it says for upholding the highest ethical standards. That's just a really brief way of saying that's what it's all about. And so we're excited to that. And since I can't pass the trophies through the machine here, what we'll be doing over the next several days is hand delivering them to the CEOs of each of the 4 companies. And Danette and I will be hand delivering them. We'll set up a time to come in and just drop in and deliver them to you. Before we start on the formal part of the program, I really want to take the time to thank several individuals who worked incredibly hard to make this event possible. And there's just tons of folks that contributed. So I'm only going to name the core team here. Renee Spang is the chair of our award process committee. And that also includes the judging committee. Renee took over from Kara Martin at the start of the year. So she's going through this gauntlet for the very first time in this amazingly complex way of doing it. So she's been showing incredible fortitude. The second one I want to thank is Danette Campbell Bell. She's the chair of the ETHIES program committee. And so she and her team have set this whole thing up, and this has been her baby to get on board. So that was terrific. Erin Berry is with us. Erin is the St. John Fisher College rep on our board, and she's handling the technical aspects of this meeting. Jeff Halleck is our chair of our communications committee, and he's been involved quite a bit in making sure our outreach activities have gone well. And Diana Barlow has been the one who's been feeding out information out into the community and giving out the wherewithal so you could all arrive. Now, there are just a few of the numerous people we have for our whole team. When you include the board plus the committee members, we have around 50 people who are working tirelessly on all the details of making things happen. And I'm not going to read all the names, but I wanted to take the time to say thank you to everyone who's been making this tremendous contribution. To kick off our program today, I want to introduce the president of St. John Fisher College, Dr. Gerard Rooney. Dr. Rooney, take it away.
Thank you, Bob, and good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you as we kick off this wonderful annual event. Bob, congratulations to you and your team for being able to execute the event this year. We've all learned new things, and many of them I think will stay with us. Certainly we've learned a few here on campus, but it's good to be with everyone. I'm proud to be here just to say a few words, because it was my late colleague, Fisher's 5th president, Dr. Catherine Keogh, who immediately recognized back in 2002 the value of promoting ethical principles in business and began Fisher's long connection to Elevate Rochester in this awards ceremony. So I'm really pleased to be here to continue our participation with that. And I'm thankful to my Fisher colleagues who were with us tonight. And Aaron, for your board service, I'm grateful as well. We have benefited in our own way from sponsored scholarships for students each year who have been encouraged to continue their pursuit of ethical principles in their own lives as students and aspiring young professionals, an activity that we take seriously and hope for them to continue that practice as they move into their career. Fisher actually has 8 all-college learning outcomes, one of which is ethical reasoning. And I thought it was particularly relevant to just mention that this evening, that that outcome reads that Fisher students will acquire the theoretical knowledge and problem-solving skills necessary to discern the ethical aspects of a situation so that they will produce ethically justifiable positions and take the necessary steps to act morally in academic, personal, and professional contexts. And it's really the example of the companies and individuals that you recognize tonight who set the example for us as a collegiate community and certainly for our students. So I'd like to congratulate those organizations and individuals who will be recognized tonight on the example you set and on the culture you've created, and continue to encourage you along the line in your work. So Bob, I'm pleased on behalf of the Fisher community to say hello. I'm pleased to be here with you tonight, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Jerry. And next we have Evan Dawson, who is our official master of ceremonies. Evan, take it away.
Well, thank you, Bob. And I've done enough of these over the pandemic to know it's not the same as being together in person. So we're going to try to keep this tight and moving and really focused on exactly why we're here. This is the 18th year for this. I've been doing this for how many? Is this six years for me? And I'm honored to do that. I host Connections on WXXI Radio, and we try to have meaningful conversations about making this world a stronger and better place. And this is a big priority for this organization and these awards. There are the Oscars, the Tonys, the Grammys, et cetera, and Rochester has the ETHIES, and we should be proud of that. There are a wide range. I mean, 75 area companies have been honored over the years, and it is not something that just gets handed out if you apply. I mean, Renee and the group have done outstanding, difficult work in discerning who is really worthy here. The application process is robust, and the principles focusing on ethical leadership, organizational excellence, ethical challenges, because of course we all face them, corporate citizenship, and now a 5th category reflecting DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and different that kind of culture in an organization. The core of the award, of course, promotes our region's strongest and most ethical businesses. And the people who put this together believe that is a profitable model. It's not just the right thing to do, it's a profitable thing. I come back because I think this makes communities better. I think it makes communities stronger. And even in my line of work, there's been a lot of debate lately about how to behave ethically. Chris Cuomo just lost his job. And, interesting conversations in my field about people saying, well, if your family was in trouble, would you help them? Even if it was not the right or the wrong thing to do, I mean, how would you sort of discern that? I think he made an unethical choice. And it's a tough one. You love family, but you pay the price when you don't behave ethically. And that's just one example. On the flip side of that, I was just getting Christmas orders out last week. I love Shutterfly. I use it all the time online. I was making a little book for my son, and I ordered 10 instead of 1 accidentally. And before they processed the order, they sent me a note saying, are you sure you want 10? It was so easy. They could have sent me 10 books, saved me a lot of money. I don't know what I would have done with them. And I will be a customer of theirs. I'm going to keep coming back to them because they took the time when they didn't have to do that. So there's examples on all sides of this of what works. And I love coming back and hearing these stories. And we're going to have a chance to hear about the businesses. We're going to talk about business leaders of the future, because that's been a big part of this, the ways to support students who are growing into our future leaders. And this is a big night to have you, if you can, support this organization and the foundational work that they're doing here to build an ethical community. So if you can do that, they're going to tell you how to do that coming up here. I'll bring Bob back and we're going to get going here. Hi, Bob.
Okay, Thanks, Evan. Yeah, when you talk about examples of ethical behavior and not ethical behavior, it's really interesting. And sometimes when someone it does something that's so strongly ethical, it just is shocking, and it just stands out. And that's what we want for Rochester. We want Rochester to stand out as the ethical standard for regions. And so that's why we're doing this work. The more companies we can get interested in the award and working for the award and creating their ethical cultures, the more we can rise. And that's why we're calling our new name of the organization Elevate Rochester, because that's really what we're trying to do, is become what we call the gold standard of ethical cultures. So I've seen our organization grow and become steady and persistent voice in the pursuit of high standards of ethical behaviors in the Rochester business community. Looking at the long list of award recipients and award finalists and the various special events we've sponsored, I believe we've succeeded. We still have further to go to reach our vision. That's clear. So we're not giving up. We're in no shape arriving. We still got more to do. Our growth and significance is due to our organizational founding partners. First of all, the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, the Society of Financial Service Professionals, and St. John Fisher College, where is sort of our home, is St. John Fisher College, to the many individuals and organizations and sponsors who have helped make it possible. Each sponsor we ask to sign a pledge to uphold the highest standards in their own business activities. And as Dr. Rooney stated, I didn't actually state it, but St. John Fisher College has been a stalwart supporter of us, not only in terms of resources and a place to meet and just a focal point, but also financial support as well. For this year, for 2020, we had to cut back dramatically. Fisher College, St. John Fisher College, stepped up and stayed at the platinum sponsor level throughout 20 and throughout 21, and they're the only one that did. Most of the other organizations backed off because of just the chaos that was going on and the lack of resources. So that just shows you how special St. John Fisher College is to us. We want to move on and move on to the scholarship portion of the program. We have three wonderful people who have earned the right to be called scholarship, and the organization that is supporting this financially is Anderson and Associates Wealth Management. Many of you know Rich Anderson has been a very stalwart member of our community for several years, and this year Rich and his cohorts have stepped up to financially support the scholarships. So I want to just describe a little bit about the process of how that works, and then Evan will introduce the scholarship recipients. The process is a year-long process. We ask in the beginning of the year several business schools, and we get different numbers depending on what year it is. We'll get different schools will come up with a scholarship recipient. We ask them to look hard in as usually it's the business schools, but sometimes it's some of the other schools. But we ask them to look hard at who are the people, what's the one person of the group that they have going through that just shines light years ahead of some of the others in terms of cooperation, in terms of helping other students, in terms of modeling ethical behaviors themselves, and also quite often they'll ask them to write an essay around what ethics means to them. And so each school puts together their own criteria and nominates and brings forth a single student that represents the best of the best for that school. So Evan, do you want to introduce our recipients?
Yeah, absolutely. First, let's start with Nicole Smith, who is St. John Fisher College, doing them proud. And I'm looking through my screens here. Is Nicole here? Do we have Nicole? Let's see here. There's Nicole.
I am.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, it's yours.
There she is. You have the opportunity, Nicole, if you would like to say a few words relative to your experience, and we don't want to put you on the spot. You're not forced to do that, but if you're so inclined, tell us about your experience.
First off, I wanted to thank everyone, especially Emily Trotman, for reaching out to me about this scholarship. I also want to thank everyone at St. John Fisher College. I've grown up coming to Fisher as my older brother went here as well. So I think just bringing that transition of coming up while I was younger and then just exemplifying ethical behavior in the school business is really important. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nicole. Congratulations to you. From Roberts Wesleyan College, the next recipient is Nariah Paris, who is also, I think, here tonight. And I'm going to turn the video screen over if she wants to make some remarks.
Hello, good evening. Thank you guys so much. Of course, I'd love to thank the core team that Mr. Whipple had mentioned. It really takes a village to make things like this go forward. So I know it couldn't have been easy to make it all come together. Moving forward, I'd love to give credit where credit is due. And that is the one who nominated me, Professor Lindsay Groves from Roberts Wesleyan. Like it's one thing to feel as if I've earned the award, but to have the nomination and recognition in and of itself is amazing. So I'm just very grateful to everyone that made this happen.
Wonderful, congratulations. And finally, Maya Sizer, who is, I think, with us as well, and coming from NAS, making NAS proud. Welcome.
I believe Maya can't be here. She's in an
Oh,
athletic
okay, no
competition this evening. So she actually provided us with a short video. I don't know if we have the ability to show that or not. Do we have the ability to show the video?
Yes, Aaron is going to be queuing that up.
Okay, great.
Sharing.
Can't hear.
Who I'd be, let alone where I'd be. Next, I'd like to thank my friends, family, coaches, and teammates, and specifically my twin sister, Michaela, for pushing me to be a better sister, friend, and leader each day. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my business professors for nominating me and Elevate Rochester for presenting me with this award. It's truly an honor to be receiving this award along with the other recipients who make it a priority to place ethics at the forefront of who they are and what they stand for. Being only 21 years old, I haven't lived that much of my life, so a lot of my ethics and values have come from my parents. Growing up in a Christian household, the beliefs and ideals of Christianity are a foundation of my ethical viewpoint and how I make a majority of my decisions. As I finished my leadership and ethics course this semester, I learned how crucial ethics is in order for a business to be successful. For corporations that make it their mission to have high ethical and moral standards for everyone involved with the corporation reap positive results. In these types of organizations, their stance on ethics is apparent throughout their corporate policy and their work environment. After graduating this semester, I plan on taking what I know and have learned about ethics and implementing that knowledge in my future workplace. I will only work for an organization that has high ethical standards and corporate social responsibility at the forefront of defining who they are. There will be an organization that values courage, justice, and honesty and chooses to do the right thing even when it's not the easiest path. The workplace is constantly changing, even more so because of the current pandemic. We've seen the typical workplace environment shift from large groups of people working together to a mix of in-person and remote spaces. Although not having everyone together is definitely a challenge, it makes it even more important to make sure everyone in the organization is on the same page about the ethical and moral codes laid out. In the workplace, although I may not have an official title, I view myself as a leader. That being said, one of the ways I will bring ethics into the changing workplace is to lead by example. In most organizations, when people see others following policies and regulations, they will be more inclined to follow them. By exhibiting ethical standards and policies, my fellow colleagues will be more inclined to follow suit. Another way I plan on bringing ethics into the workplace is if I do see an instance where a colleague might potentially jeopardize the company's ethics and morals, I will respectfully pull them aside and remind them of our values. In the future, when having to make a decision for the organization, I will more than likely experience a circumstance where I am tempted into abandoning the organization's ethical code. However, I will stay true to them and have confidence in the fact that I am making a decision that will produce the best outcome and the least bad consequences for all involved. Thank you again. I first like to start off.
And this is the moment right now, before you forget, this is the moment for you. I hope to not only appreciate the students we just met, but think about what it means that their generation is willing to bring this kind of leadership. And this is a chance for you to support this kind of program. If you want to support Elevate Rochester's efforts to continue helping the leaders of tomorrow, leaders like the ones you just met, a simple system will allow you to do that. Text 243725 to ETHIE and follow the instructions. It will take you to the donation page, and from there, you just follow very, very simple instructions. You can do this while we're sitting here. If we were in the theater together, I'd probably scold you for doing this, but we're going to let you do this now because it's technology night. And now is the time to do it. So all the instructions are right there, 243725 to ETHIE, follow the instructions. And while it's right top of mind, think about kids these days. Think about what that phrase means, kids these days. Well, they are adults, but kids these days are pretty damn good. And we just met some young adults who are really giving us a lot to think about. So great chance for you to do that. And they will thank you greatly for your contributions. We're going to move on to the main event and introduce the 2021 recipients. 4 recipients of the 2021 ETHIE Awards. And thanks to Paul Tracy from Envision Productions. Thank you, Paul, for the dedicated service in preparing these outstanding videos. Starting with this one, Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield is a nonprofit health insurance company headquartered, of course, in Rochester, part of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association. Excelis BCBS is upstate New York's largest nonprofit health plan. Let's take a look.
We really exist to impact access, affordability, and quality of healthcare in upstate New York. You really can't fulfill that mission without being a highly ethical organization. When I think about ethics, it really starts with the mission of the organization. It goes down through the strategy of the organization, right down to the culture of the organization and how we behave as employees, both with each other as well as with our customers and then with the broader community.
So often it's not only about what we do for a living, but it's the how. How do we show up at work? How do we lead? How do we create spaces where everyone can feel included? And really creating an ethical culture that also values diversity and inclusion allows us to attract and retain folks in a way that allows them to know they're working with people who are committed to doing the right thing, who are committed to, having anti-discrimination policies in place, anti-harassment, and knowing that they can bring them full selves to work and feel comfortable in that.
Anytime an issue comes to our attention, then we would open an ethics investigation. So I feel that people are coming forward and bringing concerns because they want the best environment. That's a good thing, so that we can make sure that our environment is ethical and appropriate. Really what we find is most important is working with our middle managers who each and every day are interacting with staff, setting the example is really key to our ethical culture.
More and more folks are looking to work for organizations, right, that have a social conscience, that want to do the right thing, that encourage their employees to show up as their full selves each and every day. But in order to do those things, they also need to know that they're coming into an organization that values that and is also willing to stand by what they say. Not just this piece of paper and talking the talk, but we're really good about walking the walk here too. And how do we demonstrate that each and every day?
An organization is only as ethical and compliant as its people. We must always act ethically and work hard to mitigate compliance risks. Doing so builds confidence in our products and trust in each other. This is how we fulfill our mission.
I don't think it's a coincidence that as we have focused on culture grounded in mission and ethics, we've seen our business success go and increase.
Team from Excelis BCBS, and we've got, I think, Mr. Jim Reed, CEO, to say a few words. Jim?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Evan. We really obviously appreciate the recognition here. We are a huge supporter of the Elevate Rochester organization. We have participated in this event for the past several years. I think the video said it all. I just would like to recognize Lisa White, who's with us here on this call. She's our Chief Compliance Officer. We have Francine Shea, who is our Director of Compliance, and we have Timothy Hill, who is our Vice President of Compliance. I would say the one thing that, obviously it takes a village, it takes a whole organization, it's our culture, it's our mission, but having such great dedicated leaders who are living this and working this and driving this through our organization on a daily basis. So just kudos to Lisa, to Timothy, and to Francine. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Evan.
Big applause from everybody. That's a great start to the night. Let's go to the next recipient. It is ESL. And of course, if you need help managing money, growing business, thinking about retirement, ESL wants to help you do all of those things, but in a way that feels a little different. I can say that from personal experience. It doesn't feel pressured. It doesn't feel up in your face. It just feels totally competent and suiting your own needs. So I am not surprised at all to see them on this list. They say they want to be your everything bank. Take a look.
Let me start by just saying thank you for honoring us as a finalist for the ETHIE Award. We are very proud to be in the consideration for this honor. So for us, the award really resonates because it connects well with our purpose and core values. Our purpose of helping our community thrive and prosper is really well articulated in our entire organization strategy.
Our corporate strategy is designed in a 3-year plan. We look at not only what we're trying to deliver from our core values in our mission and our purpose, but we also look at 4 key elements. We look at operational excellence being one of them. We look at the employee experience. We look at our customer experience as well as our community prosperity.
ESL has been named a great place to work 11 of the past 12 years, so we're very proud of that. One of the things that really I feel makes us a great place to work is that we ask employees how we're doing. Twice a year, we survey employees. So those surveys give us a lot of great information. They tell us what we're doing well as our opportunities to improve. We have started to really listen to employee feedback, and we make improvements. And when we talk about that with employees, we talk about it in a way that we say, you spoke, we listened.
I've worked here for about 13 years, and I just love how they really care about their employees. They care about their growth. I have had every position in the branches, and that's because of ESL's vision and like how they care about their employees and want them to grow. So they allow them to kind of identify their career goals and then really take it a step further and let you do really whatever you want to do.
So what we design is a group of policies, and we keep it very short. We only have 20 of them, but they really do help every employee in the way their work is designed on a daily basis, as well as in how they deliver on their work.
Our wellness program is called Be Well at ESL. But we want to focus on overall health of the person at ESL. So we have our own fitness center at headquarters, which is one component. We offer classes, but we focus on financial well-being, mental health, promote the resources that we have through our EAP as well. But our programs are fairly robust, and we've been fortunate enough to be a winner of several awards for our wellness programming, including Wealth of Health Award through Excelis, as well as the American Red Cross National Workplace Health Award.
Thank you, and I accept this on behalf of all our employees who work very hard to live up to our purpose in a highly values-driven manner.
Great stuff. And Fahid Massoud, CEO of ESL, if you want to say a few words, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Evan, and thanks, Bob. Good to see you again. And I'll just start by offering a big thank you to the entire team at Elevate Rochester for this prestigious honor, not just for recognizing ESL and the other honorees, but for managing the entire ETHIE award process. It was such a helpful, worthwhile reminder about the work we do and the governance we have in place to make sure that our practices are not only living up to the highest ethical standards, but that we're living our core values and serving the needs and interests of our employees, members, and our community. I'm really happy to accept this award on behalf of all ESL employees who have made our organization what it is today, from our frontline employees who work directly with our members to our support teams. Every employee at ESL is a vital contributor to living our core values day in and day out, and ultimately working to live our purpose of helping our community thrive and prosper. None of what we have accomplished and grown to become would be possible without their passion and drive to do what is right for one another, for our members, and for the community. For that, I extend my deepest thanks to each and every one of them. To the other ETHIE honorees, I wish you the sincerest of congratulations on your work to uphold ethical business practices. Your work helps build a stronger business community that sets an inspiring example for all of us. And again, finally, thank you to Elevate Rochester for this wonderful honor. We sincerely appreciate it. Good evening.
Congratulations, well deserved, Fahim. Thank you very much for those remarks. The next recipient we're going to introduce you to is ITX, and we've seen a lot of evolution of technology, which, I mean, we are in a century that is changing the way we are connected to each other and the way we are expected to be in touch with each other. The last couple of decades, this is a company that has really evolved in many ways too, transitioning from full service software product development with a focus on clients and success now. And they've got an inspired team. They design and develop websites, mobile apps, intranets, web portals, APIs, and supporting client software. ITX trying to connect the community by shaping the future of the digital landscape itself. It's great stuff. Let's take a look.
I started ITX nearly 25 years ago with a simple mission. We solve challenging technology problems so that our clients can move, touch, and inspire. We let our clients decide how they're going to affect the world, and we back them up by solving the problems that stand in their way. We hire problem solvers and people who are consistent with our values, because our values make everything work better.
These values are really core to who we are. You know, often values can just be words on the wall. We don't want that. We want things that are in place and that when you come to ITX, you feel the values.
So we spent about 3 months exploring and evaluating a wide variety of resources, and we created a training program that all of the designers at ITX have to run through. We're creating a framework so that all of our products take accessibility and inclusion into consideration, from the ideation to the design, to the development, to the testing of that product.
You cannot be truly diverse if you're not committed to thriving together. This idea of thriving together manifests itself into concepts like harmony, which is a lens through which we look at every decision that we make to ensure that we are being fair with everybody involved in and affected by the decision.
What we found is, by focusing on the needs of remote workers first, we created a richer experience for everyone.
When we say remote first, what we mean is that we are, first off, a distributed organization. And so we need to take into account the needs of our remote workers first. And then we integrate that into our design choices.
So I love working from home. This in combination with the flexibility and efficiency and trust, levels of trust that working remotely gives, I think it overall makes a powerful environment to succeed.
As you walk around the office, there are a lot of opportunities for people to have conversations with people who aren't in the office, right? The small one-person phone booths, our use of the meeting owls to give people a good experience where they can see everybody in the room. And we did that to make sure that our remote users would have the same experience as our in-office people.
We have a strategy conference that we run every 2 years, so we get people to submit problems. We work and refine the problems to get at what is the underlying problem so that we're solving the core problem. And then we have sessions at X10 where we come up with solutions.
So we feel strongly to do the right thing, to pursue initiatives and technologies and ways of working that simply make the world a better place for everyone, not just a select few.
We have a way of working at ITX that's values-based and focused on creating a professional home where people want to be, where they can be their best selves and they can have a great impact on the world.
The president of ITX is Fred Beer. Are you here, Fred?
I am. Thank you, Evan, and thank you the entire Elevate Rochester community. We're really proud to have to be recognized for the great work that we've done, and I really want to thank my entire team because it's a team effort. It's the entire team that really makes ITX who it is, and we've got an amazing group of people who have really live our values every day. And to me, that's really what ethics is about, is living your values and having them be part of the fabric of the organization. And then I also want to just celebrate a fellow nominees, RTS, Excelis, ESL. It really shows the amazing organizations we have here in Rochester, and really makes me proud to be living here in Rochester and the great companies that we have as a part of us. So.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that, Fred. Cheers. Congratulations to you. Big applause from everyone here tonight, and I hope the community recognizes the work that is well deserved with this award. Let's turn now. He mentioned RTS. This is a final recipient, and this is a really important one. Every community needs public transportation, and it doesn't work equally well in every community. There's no doubt that RTS has worked extremely hard to try to figure out how to adapt and serve people. But to get this award indicates they're doing it in a way that is serving the community, that is serving the people working for them, offering better access, frequency, reliability, and hearing what people say that they need and finding a way to do that. No one's going to say it's perfect, but boy, oh boy, they've been working hard, and it's fun to see them get this. Let's take a look.
Ethics for an organization like ours are critical. We're a state entity. We're serving the public. We have a lot of taxpayer funding. So embedded in our vision, mission, and values is a spirit of good ethics, integrity, respect, diversity and inclusion, engagement and collaboration, agility and innovation, and performance focus. Those are part of employee orientation and really every day. You see, the ethics that we want our customers to receive from our employees get embedded in that culture.
Every year our board reviews it. Every year our employees are trained on it. And when anybody starts work here at RTS, they're given a copy of it, asked to review it, told to ask questions if they have any, and then sign off in acknowledgement that they have reviewed the code.
The RTS way is an embodiment of all of our values. What we did is we surveyed employees across the organization and asked them the question, what does your best day look like here at RTS? And based on that feedback, we were able to develop about 17 behaviors that align with those values.
We bring those to life through our employees by way of a couple different things. One being our wellness committee that helps run the Healthy You Employee Wellness Program, and our Culture and Inclusion Council. So they're employee teams that work together to find ways to engage employees, get people working together, wanting to know each other, spend time together. If people care about one another, they're naturally going to operate with respect and integrity to be successful.
A big part of it is respect. And it is mutual between us and the customers, of course. So it's very important for us to get the bus out on time and out on the road and get the folks in the community where they need to be.
We have electric buses here. We're providing training and tools and the resources to get our techs up to speed to be able to service these vehicles and keep them on the road and provide a safe, clean vehicle for our customers that need to get to work and their appointments every day. We have my supervisors during the day that work with the operations to provide, bus availability, make sure that, when the drivers pull in during the day and they need quick maintenance needs, we get to them and, get them back on the road. And we work with operations, radio control, and dispatch to provide that information so we can get that, accomplished with easy communication and fairness for everybody to get their job done timely.
The new transit center, first of all, is beautiful. As soon as people walk in, they're like, oh, like they're walking in New York City and looking at, Times Square. So it's just an ambiance. And as being a face-to-face customer service rep at the transit center, I interact with customers on a daily basis to give trip information and just to pretty much make their day happy while they're riding the bus.
So it starts at the top with treating the employee right, but getting across to the employee that culture, how that interaction happens, gets back to the relationship we want that employee to have with their supervisor, with the community, with that customer. And that's got to be a strong, ethical relationship.
The CEO of RTS is Bill Carpenter, who's here. Bill, congratulations. Floor is yours.
Evan, thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
I think we can hear you.
Just want to congratulate the other winners, ITX, Excelis, and ESL, strong leaders in the community, and Elevate Rochester for putting this recognition together to have this focus on how the community should receive services and products from businesses here. At RTS, I want to thank Amy Gould and Dan DeLoss for their leadership in the culture and the ethics, specifically Renee Elwood and Tom Breed for their work in putting the application together. But we have 1,000 employees who are delivering this to customers, tens of thousands of customers every day throughout our 8-county service area. You win this award because the culture is being identified at the top and trained, but it's being lived out by the bus operators, customer service staff, mechanics. Just so proud of the work that they do every day, our administrative staff, people that wash and clean the buses. It's something that it's a privilege for me to lead this group that choose to treat the community so well. Thank you very much for the recognition. Appreciate it very much.
Well deserved to the whole team there. It's fun to see the leadership team there. And let me also just say that, Bill happens to be in a position that is very, very public facing, and for good reason. The community needs to be able to understand what's going on at RTS. RTS has never said no to a request for an interview that I know of, not with me or my colleagues, even when it's not the most fun subject or they've got to deal with some stuff that's a little sticky. They communicate really well. I mean, Tom that was mentioned there. I'm just mentioning some of the names I know, and I see a whole room of faces. I've probably met quite a lot of you on the show over the years, but cheers to all of you for that. And Bill, thanks to the whole team there. These are 4 recipients we saw that are great examples of companies that are trying to do business the right way. And I want to bring in one of the people who helps make sure that these choices are carefully vetted, and that is the chair of the ETHIE Award Process Committee, Renee Spring. Renee?
Hi, everyone. As Evan mentioned in his opening remarks, the ETHIES apart from so many other award events is our independent panel of judges and site visitors. I want to take a moment to thank Carl Wiebeck from RG&E, who also worked with me to facilitate and lead the judges team. The panel of judges and site visitors are comprised of business and community leaders who are really the epitome of servant leadership. They're giving of their time and their talents and the work that they do to read, review, and discuss all of the applications. We use a rigorous set of standards and a matrix rating system that these judges spend a lot of volunteer hours getting to know all of the applicant companies. The review of these applications allow these judges to learn quite a bit about each of the companies so that we can truly ensure that we're elevating the best of the best. I would like to take a moment and acknowledge that group of judges and site visitors, as well as all of the other volunteers in the organization that support this award process. It really takes a village. Additionally, I'd also like to audience to join me in a round of applause for our vendors. Without them, we couldn't do it either. Both of them have played an integral role in this fabulous event you guys are taking part in this evening. Not have done it without all of their help. Special thanks go to Rich and his colleagues at Penfield Trophies for the exceptional award they designed and crafted for this year's event. They are attractive, eye-catching, and ethically appropriate, as Bob showed you earlier. Thank you, Rich, and your team. We really appreciate it. Additionally, we would like to thank Paul Tracy of Envision Productions. He did phenomenal and inspiring videos produced for each of the recipients. And this year he did an amazing job under an unusual schedule and COVID circumstance. Presented additional challenges producing all of these videos. And lastly, we would also thank John Fisher College and Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce for the great partnership that they've been for the ETHIE Awards. Also, if you would like to nominate an organization that you think is truly worth celebrating and elevating such companies as we've seen here tonight, go to www.elevaterochester.org and you can nominate companies right online for the 2022 ETHIE. And that process will be beginning shortly this coming year. Now for our closing remarks, I'm going to turn it back over to Evan.
Thank you very much, Renee. It's just been a really sweet year in tough circumstances. I hope this is the last time we're going to do it this way, but you know what? This community will always find ways to get together and do it well, do it safely, and lift up the ethical behavior of companies and organizations. This is a new group that joins the honor roll. It's a growing honor roll. If you're part of it, I hope you share it, and I hope again ETHIES becomes the kind of a name in the minds of Rochesterians, the way the Emmys and the Grammys and everything else are. I mean, this matters. So one more note before we go, one more chance for you to contribute if you want to do that. You know how to do that now, and you can support Elevate Rochester and the future students and business leaders in our community, 3 of whom you met tonight. On behalf of Elevate Rochester, thanks for attending in this way. Let's see each other in person as soon as possible. Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Have a wonderful year, and we'll see you in 2022.
And I just want to say thank you to Evan for your contributions and for a superb job as always. You really help us epitomize what we're talking about. So I can't feel more proud of the organizations and the students that we've honored here today, and especially proud that we're actually letting you out early. That people were not very long-winded, so that's good. And technically, I think we came out okay. So just want to say one more time, thank you to all of the applicants and the honorees and the students and the Raybeth family, Elevate Rochester family that pulled this off. It was quite a challenge and we rose to it. So everybody have a great evening, and we'll hopefully see you at Jiva next year.
Thank you.